Howdy do everyone, and welcome to our Just Chatting stream. I'm a little early today, but I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and get started. I didn't want to make you guys wait in silence for too much longer, so we're just going to go ahead and start today. So this stream is all about conventions. Whether it's like your first convention, or maybe you haven't had a convention, I'm mostly going to be talking about my experience with the current convention I just went to. So I was gone all weekend for Anime Frontier. Suit yourself, more overtime for me. Yep. 45 seconds early. That's right! I told you we're gonna start making this earlier and earlier. Alright. So I was gone all weekend for Anime Frontier. I flew into Texas on Thursday. I think it was Fort Worth, Texas. I need to brush up on my Texas towns. Anyway, I flew in. We went to Anime Frontier. It is an anime convention that is hosted by Crunchyroll. And there was a lot. There was a lot on the table. There's a lot to talk about. But, I guess, have any of you been to conventions before? Of any kind? I'm a little curious, how many people have. I know that for some people, they prefer not going to conventions at all. Which, fair. It's a lot of busy work. You just flew in, and boy, are your arms tired. They are! Fish aren't meant to fly like this. Well, I guess flying fish, but... Angie, there's an old man repeatedly passing by your window. Call the police. It's okay. Probably. I think he's one of the good ones. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I've been told that a guy in a red suit coming by your house is a good thing. Human culture or whatever. I've never been to any. I see. I was talking to a lot of people at the convention. It was their first time going to one. I've been to a couple of conventions. I used to go all the time an unfortunate amount of years ago that I don't want to disclose. But some of my friends really liked going to conventions, and I was often invited to them, so I ended up going. However, a lot of my convention buddies, retired from that life, and so I hadn't been to conventions in quite a while. But one of my new friends, who will make many appearances in this story, really likes going to conventions. And she really likes getting signings from her favorite actors or voice actors. And she often invites me to go with her, because she doesn't want to go alone, and that is fair. 90 whole years. Hey now! Who said 90? Anyways... Oh, man, I'm late. Oh, man. Well, now we have to execute you. That's just how it goes. All right. Let's see. I wrote a list of bullet points to talk about in case I went off track at all. So, we have plenty that we can go off on. Of course, I'm also willing to go off on random tangents here and there. You know how I be. On top of that, I have some pictures to show off. Not many this time. As always with these things, I will post photos on my Instagram. So any photos you see here will be on my Instagram, and I have a couple of more on my Instagram that I did not post on here, to get you guys to move over to my Instagram too, because, you know, I'm like kind of nope, that's the wrong, I'm kind of an influencer or something, so I need you guys to go over to my other accounts. So... So, my Instagram has some Instagram exclusive photos if you want to check that out. Once once I actually post them, because I haven't yet. Anyways. Angie sent him to Brazil. Alright, banished to Brazil. Sorry, man. It's how it works. I don't know why that's a punishment, though. Is that a punishment? No! Okay, I guess it is. Alright. So, looking at my list of nice fancy bullet points to go over, all I said in big letters was I arrived in Texas, so that's very helpful me. Thank you for that. But yeah, we arrived in Texas, me and R. I've been to Texas a couple of times. You guys know I drove through Texas when I went on my big trip and everything. I'm not new to Texas, but I don't know Fort Worth, which is where we were. Will we get Oliver? I can add Oliver, I guess. I have not added him to this little thing yet, so hold on, gotta go to my image ad and everything. Very important things. No problem, I understand how important Oliver is to all of you. I mean, that's why all of you are here, right? It's not for me. Oliver's the most important thing on this show. Alright, let's see here. Gotta go to this and add existing and what number's Oliver under? I think this one is correct. I should label these. Is it? Yes! Oliver! Gigantic. Also, we'll put him right over here and readjust, and there. Oliver can be right beside me as I talk. Yeah, we're for Oliver and Oliver alone. I understand, I understand. Oliver is very cute. Very adorable. And he does watch all of these. I left the door open, so real Oliver should be here at some point. He needs a Santa hat. Talk to my artist. Talk to Space. She's not here right now, but like when Space gets in, bully her. And then I'll have to pay her if she doesn't. Set Filbert free? No. Never. I'll be alone without him. Steal one from Google. I don't need Google on me. That would be bad for me. Okay, alright. So, Ara and I arrived on Thursday to this convention, and that is a day early, so we didn't do much on Thursday. We went to a, Cajun restaurant called Razoo's, and had some Cajun food. Very good. Recommend it to you guys. Very spicy. I like it. And yeah, we mostly talked about our plans for the next 3 days, and we followed none of those plans, so you know how it goes. Planning for conventions never seems to go well for me. I never end up doing the things that I plan on doing. Filbert has a Santa hat. Poor Oliver got left out. Oliver would just shake off the Santa hat. You know, we tried drawing one for him, but he kept shaking it off. He will not be contained. The corn costume was one thing, but a Santa hat? It's asking too much. Let's see here now. I wrote that I had an ADHD trip and just over-talked about a bunch of anime, which is true. Poor R dealt with me talking about JoJo so much that she eventually relented and we watched Phantom Blood. We watched we watched the first 7 episodes of Phantom Blood, so 2 more left. 2 more left. And I guess that will be R's homework assignment. But yeah, that's all we did. We watched JoJo for that first night. JoJo normie. Is JoJo considered a normie anime now? Is it? I mean, I guess, but I don't know, it's fun. I like JoJo. But also Phantom Blood is best. I love Phantom Blood. People that skip Phantom Blood are not part of the JoJo community. I expel you. You're not welcome here. Don't skip Phantom Blood! Never skip Phantom Blood. Anyways. She seemed to enjoy it so far. A hat, no. Yeah, exactly. Butter was fine, but a hat, no. Oliver can look up the butter. Phantom Blood skippers are weak and will not survive the winter. Exactly. Like, how could you skip Phantom Blood? Alright, JoJo talks aside. No, not JoJo talks aside. I'm looking at my notes. There's still more JoJo talks. I apologize for everyone that has not watched JoJo. Anyways. Yeah, so we watched the first 7 episodes of JoJo. I went on a hyperfixation little rant there with R, and I had full plans. There was an anime karaoke that was coming up. There was an anime karaoke, and I had full plans to sing Sonochi no Sarame. Full plans. And we ended up not doing that, which, sad. But I was planning on doing that, just doing a rendition of Sono Chino Sadame. Maybe on a karaoke stream one day. Maybe. If you guys can get me to do a karaoke stream. Alright. So, yeah, that Thursday was pretty uneventful. Why is there a frog in the chat? Is it a JoJo reference? Anyways. So that Friday happened. Friday we actually got a lot done. I have a general rule on the first day of anime conventions about how I'm not doing most things. I'll explain. Angie at 200, will we get more Angie lore? Of course we will. We will, in fact, at 200 subs, I will drop more lore. I was going to talk about the 200 sub special a bit on here. We're so close. We are. Yeah, I was going to talk about the 200 sub special on here at the end, so stay tuned. I have a few things to talk about at the end of this for the future on this channel. Now that we are getting close to 200 and all. Yeah, so R&R what was I gonna say there? What was that? You want to try that again? Making fun of myself whenever I say things incorrectly. Beating you guys to the punch on that one. I thought you were talking about 200 years. But then I remembered Angie is way past that age. Hold on. More slightly unhinged and masochistic fish lady lore. That's right! More lore from me. Alright. So R and I got to that convention very early on Friday. Way too early, in fact. We ended up having to wait an entire hour before the convention opened. And they were just blasting anime music that entire time. And, like, we managed to get into one of the good lines where we got into the convention, like, way earlier than everyone else. We need Oliver lore. He's a cat. What more lore do you need? I have a kitty cat. And, like, he might eat me. I guess I could talk more on that. Furiously scrambling out Oliver lore to match up with mine. Oh, man. So, yeah, we got into that convention really early. I have a general rule not to cosplay on the first day of conventions. And I usually try not to buy anything on the first day of conventions. Usually because, one, like, the first day is mostly, like, a scouting day, see where everything is, make sure that, you know, I know how to get from place to place, see where Artist Alley is, see where the vendor hall is, all of that stuff, so I can just map out what I want to do. And, you know, this was a pretty big convention, so there was a lot of space, there was a lot of places. And a lot of the games and stuff got filled up really fast. A lot of the panels got filled up really fast, which I was surprised by. You didn't get me any souvenirs? I apologize. I would like to take this time to apologize to my mod on not getting any souvenirs for all of them. Yeah. But I did go shopping for everyone else. Anyways, so we walk into the convention, and again, we get there really early, so there's not really anyone there. Everyone is still filing in, so we kind of have first take over everything. The vendor hall is very, very large. They kind of fit everything into one room. So you had the arcade games, the gigantic vendor hall, all the official booths from all the anime companies and studios, VTuber studios, and all of that. Nice fake tear in that apology. Yeah, you know, you really gotta act. You gotta commit to these apologies, you know? Watch my episode 2 of Hollow Knight where I had to put on an entire apology video. And, that's, not just to make you guys watch earlier videos of mine so I can get more watch hours out of you or anything. Anyways. So, we kind of had our lay of the land in there. They had a large, kind of artist alley in the back of the room. Usually artist alleys are kind of in different rooms from vendor halls. So this is the first convention I've been to where they kind of combined the room for artist alley and the vendor hall. And artist alleys are just usually where they have a bunch of artists, obviously, come around and sell prints or keychains they made, or just like homemade merch. They're really cool. I really like shopping in them because you get to find like really unique things you can't really find anywhere else. Then they also had all of the voice actor signings in there. So if you walked back looking over at the chat and just seeing like it not being able to process the emoji. I have to look at YouTube chat in order to see the emojis. Did you just notice chat on screen? Yep, your chat is on the screen. Wow, that was a fake apology, canceled. Come on, I'm a YouTuber. All our apologies are fake. Anyways, and so but the frog is okay? What about the frog? What frog now? The frog is never okay. Anyways. So we went into the back where all of the voice actor signings were, and off to the side, right before you got to the back, there was a 10th anniversary Tokyo Ghoul cafe. And like, I like Tokyo Ghoul. That was a strong sentence right there. That was like a letter, I think. Yeah. Trying to do the YouTube emoji too, huh? Angie likes coffee. I do like coffee. Am I talking too fast? I did down a whole thing of coffee before I started this. I can slow down. I can slow down. I nearly got into Tokyo Ghoul once before MZ blissfully pushed me away from it, saving me. I mean, how to word this? Tokyo Ghoul was good. This is all opinion based. Tokyo Ghoul was good. I would say the first season. And then it separated from the manga and went into a direction that I kind of question a lot. And then the manga itself kind of went into an area that I kind of question a lot. But the manga was good for far longer than the anime was. We should use the YouTube emoji so Angie has to check the actual chat. And not the imitation of us. I mean, like, this is the actual chat. I can read everything. All I'm hearing is Tokyo Ghoul mid. I mean, yeah, I think Tokyo Ghoul is probably more of a mid-anime, but are mid-animes really that bad? I mean, some of my favorite animes are technically mid-animes. They're not 10 out of 10. What do you consider mid? To me, anything from a 5 to 7 is a mid-anime. So, like, I don't know. Mid-animes aren't bad. But yes, Tokyo Ghoul I do think was probably a mid-anime. Beyond the Boundary is pretty mid. Don't say that when Space is here. That's like one of her favorite animes. That might start a war. Maybe. Maybe it will. Thank goodness Space isn't here to hear me say that. Yeah, she might kill you over that take. That's a pretty strong take. We really will start a war. I watched it with her. I see. Oh. Yeah, she loves that anime. It's good. There's things I really like about that anime. But I guess if I'm ranking it... I guess if I'm ranking it with like a lot of other animes I watch, it is kind of mid compared to like some other ones I really like. They got corn. No corn. Though there was the smell of popcorn throughout that entire convention hall. So like there was a booth selling popcorn. I'm not sure where it was though because I avoided it like the plague. All right. So, Tokyo Ghoul Cafe. I actually have pictures. I have pictures of this part. So I am going to minimize somehow. No, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Okay, somehow we're gonna minimize. Let's see, where am I? There I am. Why am I all the way up there? There we go. We're gonna minimize. And Oliver's also going to minimize for a little bit. He was the unplanned part of this, so minimize Oliver. Okay. So I'm actually gonna show some pictures of this one. Because as I said, we have some pictures here, might as well show them. So this was the cafe. So yeah, they had a nice little replica of the cafe here. And we were kind of first, so we kind of got our pick first. So we were able to go up first in line, and everything was automated. So they had a machine. You didn't actually talk to anyone when you were making your order. And yeah, we would just wait, have our order called, and grab stuff. And so this was the menu. Let me enlarge that just a little bit so it's a little easier to read. Yeah, this was what they had on the menu. Everything was themed to the characters. So I admittedly tried like everything on the menu. Not quite everything. There was a few that I didn't get, but I did try quite a bit. I would just wake up in the morning, we'd get straight to the convention hall, and I would go straight to the cafe to get some coffee. They didn't have just straight coffee though. I usually drink coffee black, but they didn't really have that. So I just usually got the Yoshimura, because that was the Vietnamese coffee. Too late, Rune. I already sent my comments to space myself. Oh man. They got Filbert emoji. They got a Filbert emoji? Oh my god, Tokyo Ghoul Cafe. Yeah, it was the 10th anniversary. And so, I got the Rize a number of times. That was pretty good. They had like fresh strawberries in it, where a lot of these just had like strawberry syrup. This was the only one that had like fresh strawberries in it. So I got that one a couple of times. I got the Yoshimura a couple of times too, because just coffee. Just coffee. R got Uda a few times, and she said it was very sweet but very good. Kaneki I got a couple of times, and Hinami I got once, but I didn't get the other ones. So no Hideyoshi or Tsukiyama or Toka. Just those ones. Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed that. They were selling a lot of merch. And what I mean by that is that they were selling a lot of 10th anniversary merch. So they had these coasters, which I did get. I got one of the coasters. That picture will be on my Instagram page. They had these cards that were like really advertised, these limited edition cards. And if you got one, then you got 3 free drinks at that cafe, which honestly might have been worth it since I kept getting drinks at this cafe. It was opened all weekend, so I had plenty of opportunity to get drinks here. Yeah, that card though was like $50, and admittedly scared me off quite a bit from actually getting it. So I only got the coaster. They were selling some acrylic stands and keychains as well, and everything had a 10th anniversary on it for Tokyo Ghoul's 10th. But yeah, that was basically it for this one. Not much to talk about, just cool that they had the cafe going on. Nice little break whenever we wanted to just like sit after we had walked around Vendor Hall for a while, or were waiting for a panel. They also had just like regular food stalls and stuff in this room. Mostly like hot dogs, chicken, you know, all of that. Any human flesh flavor? I don't think so. Though the Rize one might come close. Also the Tsukiyama. I can see either of those. Okay. Yeah, I spent way too long at this cafe, huh? I ordered way too many drinks. but they were good. A lot of sugar. Any new human for the collection? Tons! Anyways. What came next? What did we do on Friday? I remember R and I went to a lot of vendors this day because usually, again, we just kind of look around that first day and see what's there. And that is usually true. I will say that is usually the case. I'm gonna put this away now since we've exhausted that a little bit. That's usually the case altogether, where I avoid shopping for anything on the first day. It's always either the second or last day that we do the shopping. But, so there was this booth, and this booth later got titled The Danger Booth by both R and I. And the reason for that fun nickname was because, so this booth, when you went up to it, had a lot of DVDs. Tons of DVDs. In fact, I'm pretty sure they had like every in-print anime that you could think of there. We were looking there for quite a while. I collect manga and anime for that matter. I've started, like the anime collection is recent, but I've started collecting quite a few anime. And so we were looking around. They had some plushies, some throw pillows in the back, you know, and some posters. I don't really get posters because I don't have any room for posters. So I was avoiding that automatically. But I was looking around at the DVDs and I noticed that they had some copies of my favorite anime, which is Higurashi. Higurashi no Naku Koroni is my favorite anime, has been for a very, very long time, ever since I first watched it. I'm a huge fan of the When They Cry series in general, so Higurashi has always been one of my favorites. And I own the complete collection of Higurashi, which comes with the first 3 seasons of it. However, recently, Higurashi got a remake. Sequel kind of thing. It's a long story. Anyways, Higurashi got a remake/sequel recently, and I don't have that one at all. So, I wanted that. I saw that. It's Gosatsu is the name of those arcs. And immediately it was kind of like, oh, hey, I've wanted that. And so I asked how much they were. He pulled them out. It was like quite a bit, honestly. Too much. It was too much. And I was just like, oh man, that's tempting, but you know, I probably not now. And he was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But then he said, well, we have the physical edition of Umi Neko if you're interested in those games. Guys, friends, I'm gonna level with you here. I'm gonna level with you when it comes to Umi Neko. Umi Neko is my favorite game visual novel of all time. I am obsessed with Umi Neko. It is my favorite thing to exist. I have honestly said that I think it is one of the best written things I've ever read. I love Umi Neko. Whenever I see anything Umi Neko, I buy it straight away, without thinking. And after he got done saying that he had the physical edition of Umi Neko, my mind went blank, and I suddenly noticed my credit card was gone, and I had the physical editions in my hands. So, I broke my rule on buying things on the first day. I broke my rule hard on buying things on the first day. But it was my thing! It's my hyper-obsession! Can you really blame me, Your Honor? I needed that! I mean, honestly, as hyperfixations go, Umi Neko's a very understandable one. I love Umi Neko! Totally not an addiction, trust. It's not. There's not much of Umi Neko content to go around to make it an addiction. Umi Neko is very, very niche. I never see any merchandise for it at all. So seeing that they had the physical editions of it, I just went blank. Like, I bought those things so fast. The guy behind the counter was laughing at me, and I was just like, yeah, eat it up. But I wasn't the only one, because R had asked him, and like I wasn't conscious for this apparently. I was too busy blanking out, holding Umineko into my hands. And R had gone over and asked the guy if he had anything that was Lupin the Third. Admittedly, I have not watched Lupin the Third, so I don't know much about it. It's been on my list for forever, so I think I should after watching R do this. But R had asked if he had anything Lupin the Third, and he said, I have 2 full rows of Lupin the Third DVDs, and she bought the entire thing. She bought the entire thing. And so we hung our heads in shame that day as we walked out of the vendor hall with all of our new DVDs purchased and games purchased, and broke our rule badly on that first day. He hit us both with our hyperfixations, and we enable each other, so it was a hard day. It was a hard day for both of us. We got humbled real fast on that day. I thought I knew how I'd be on conventions, and I knew nothing. I wasn't prepared for what I went through. It was... I knew from that day onwards I was not going to financially recover from this convention, but the danger booth was over, probably. Anyways. I'll take your entire stock. It's true! I bought out those Umineko DVDs, games. And apparently he only had those 2, so yeah, I bought the entire stock. I guarantee if you hadn't blacked out and bought the Umineko, then someone else would have, probably. I saw a Beatrice cosplayer while I was there. And like, obviously I instantly took a picture with her, but... You know, I don't really know if she wants me to post her photos at all, so I'm just not going to. Any of the cosplayers I took pictures of, I'm not going to post because I don't want to, like, you know, if they don't want to be posted, I forgot to ask them, so we just won't. But yeah, I did find a Beatrice cosplayer, and I showed her the physical copies that I had, and she was instantly like, tell me where you found those now. So, yeah, there were some other, Umineko diehards there. Can you post a picture of your social security card? Yeah, that sounds trustworthy. Hold on. Let's see. Oh yeah, just casually watch Lupin the Third. Casually watch every Lupin the Third. Eventually, I do want to go through and watch Lupin the Third. It's a long-running anime. It's an old anime. But I have not. R has. She started with the way old ones, and is working her way up. Dear Lord, does she even have any money left after that? Surprisingly. But she also felt the hit after that one. CGI movie is pretty solid as an intro to Lupin. The Ghibli movie is amazing, but also incredibly out of character. I see. I am interested in starting Lupin. I'll probably look up where to start. I do like starting at the beginning of a lot of animes. Even if an anime got, like, remade, I usually want to start with the original. Ranma just got a remake, and I never watched the original, and I kind of want to start back at the original and then watch the remake. I'm just weird that way. I like doing that. It is multiple anime. I have only watched the movie and a few episodes I barely remember seeing at 3 a.m. on Toonami as a kid. I see! From what I hear, season 1 of OG Lupin is actually not very good. I have no idea. I guess I'll find out. I have no standards when it comes to anime, as I found out. I'll watch anything, apparently. Alright, so yeah, that first day, it didn't recover. But R also wanted to go get a signing from Ray Chase, who, if you don't know Ray Chase, he is a voice actor for Sukuna and Chozo from Jujutsu Kaisen. He also voiced Bruno Bucciarati from JoJo. So, I was tempted, but after dropping money on Umineko, I kind of didn't want to spend any more money, so I resisted. but I waited in line with R. R, she will actually draw her own pictures and have them sign, "Hello, welcome in." R will actually draw her own pictures to these things and have the voice actors sign them, or actors sign them. So she had drawn a picture of Sukuna and Chozo, because she really likes Jujutsu Kaisen. And she got her picture signed by Ray Chase. He was really cool. Standing in line, they had prints that you could buy to have him sign, and the Bruno picture was so cool. It went so hard. I was very tempted on getting that one. It was really cool, but I resisted. Ray Chase was really nice. He actually voice acted the characters as he signed. So that was a cool experience, hearing him voice act as he was signing the photos. And R was freaking out the whole time. She's a normie. Hey, she's a new anime fan. She just got into it like last year. Give her a break. I mean, like, she's into Lupin. Is that considered a normie anime? Tell her to get into Hell's Paradise. I'm so lonely with no one to talk about it. Hey, I'll write that down. I'll write that one down. I'll watch it. Alright, written down. So if I don't like it, I can blame you. Alright. While we were there, again, I saw a lot of good cosplays that first day. There was a lot of Ensemble Stars cosplay, which again is one of my hyperfixations. So I kind of stopped every Ensemble Stars cosplayer I saw so I could get a picture of them. There was a lot of cute couples cosplays too. I was surprised by a lot of them that I saw. But that basically ended the first day. After that convention, we went to P.F. Chang's, had a few drinks, had some fun, celebrating the opening day of the convention, and then we went back and watched JoJo. And that was our first day at this convention. Very fun one. The floor, a few more pictures that I took. I didn't take a picture of it, but they had pachinko machines, which is a fairly common thing at a lot of conventions. Also, empathetically, yes, Lupin is extremely mainstream. Is it mainstream? I didn't know if Lupin was considered mainstream or not. I don't see a lot of people that say they've watched Lupin, but I see a lot of people that say they've heard of Lupin. So, interesting. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would consider Lupin mainstream. How about Case Closed? Is Case Closed considered mainstream? Like, genuinely curious. On that note, it's survived this long by being popular. I mean, in Japan. Lupin is really popular in Japan. Case Closed is the most mainstream? It's, yeah, the Conan series. It's, again, like one of those things that I see a lot of people that have heard of it, but not a lot of people that have watched it. Case Closed was the series that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. And, like, there's just a surprising lot of people that have never watched it. That sucks. Yeah, it's mainstream in Japan, is what I mean. Gotta expand your mind, Itchy. Well, like, that's what I'm talking about. It's not mainstream in America. And what's mainstream in America is usually always different from what's mainstream in Japan. Like, Cowboy Bebop is a good example of one that's mainstream in America. A lot of Americans love Cowboy Bebop, but it's not that popular in Japan. It's not disliked in Japan, but it's not, like, near the popularity that it has in America. It's pretty interesting. It's usually because a lot of Americans will find things that they can, I guess, how to put this? I heard someone else talking about this at the convention too. It was a guy that had studied a lot of Japanese culture, and he was saying, like, this phenomena that a lot of what Americans like tends to be different than what a lot of Japanese people like. What gets popular is very different. And it like tends to be that a lot of Americans will like find things that they can relate to more from their media. So like, you know, we can relate to sci-fi cowboys more than we can probably relate to something like, I'm pulling out a random example here, like Hellgirl, which is very Japanese, like super ingrained in Japanese culture, like very, very made for a Japanese audience. And I never see that many people talk about shows like Hellgirl, but that show did really well in Japan and got like 4 seasons. Still blaming Angie for my sickness after my birthday. Why am I being blamed for that? I had nothing to do with that. I'm under the ocean. I tell you guys to take care of yourselves. There's a big cultural gap in media and in popular characters. Yeah, basically. IDK if you played P5 Angie, but Ryuji is way more popular here than in Japan. I have not played any of the Persona games except for 3. And it was only part of 3. I only played like a little bit of it. The day you came back, I got sick. I can't control that, man. I can't control all of that. I can control some things, but not that. Sure, like how Ghost Stories got a full localization experience to help bridge the cultural gap between Japan and America. Yeah, that is a huge example. Like, Ghost Stories actually did fairly well in Japan, but there's a big myth that oftentimes gets spread that it did horrible in Japan, and that's why they localized it so much in America. But if you actually look at it, it did really well in Japan because they actually like a lot of those ghost stories. It's a very, very fascinating experience. Angie played P3 once and had good enough taste to write the whole series off as mid. That's not true. That's taking words out of my mouth. I liked P3. What stopped me from playing the other games is admittedly I like playing as a girl in my dating sims. But, you know, that's also not the case that draws me off of dating sims. And also, Persona is not entirely a dating sim. I just got salty because in P3 I can play as a girl, and in the other ones you don't. But I've always intended on going and playing the rest of them. They seem like good games. I've never heard someone call them mid before. No, Persona's absolutely a dating sim. Oh, my mistake? I see. But I fully planned on going through. Like I said, playing as a girl is not the thing that stops me from playing dating sims. I, in fact, have a dating sim planned to play here either next week or the week after. And it's definitely not one I play as a girl. As long as it has a good story, I'm all in. I think a lot of players want a femme MC for the other Persona games. I would really like one. I prefer playing as a girl because, I mean, I am one. So I prefer it, but like I said, it's not like the end-all be-all for me on playing games. As long as the story's good, I'll play anything. Sometimes even if the story isn't good, I'll play it. You're a girl? Yeah, I know, it's surprising. It's the voice, isn't it? Okay. So. What was I saying? What was any of this? Where was I in this story? Was I even telling a story at this point, or were we just going off on anime? Angie is a girl. I thought she was a gender-neutral blob of mass. Nope, I am a female anglerfish. Fanfin anglerfish. Not a ball of mass. I'm a fish. Get it right. Anyways. Angie isn't a gender-neutral blob of mass. I am, though. That's right. Respect MZ. MZ is our gender-neutral blob of mass. Oh my gosh, I'm already mischaracterizing MZ. Blob of mass. Blob of mass. God, it's the most important part. Can't believe I'm getting that wrong. Okay. Anyways, I'm the fish. Get it right. I mean, anglerfish is a fish that looks like a blob of mass. No, I don't look like a blob of mass. I look like a hellspawn. I am proud of how I look, okay? Okay. Well, if space draws me, I look oddly cute, honestly. I'm like a little ballfish. And he's a blobfish, he's an anglerfish. Exactly! Look at my mods coming up with better jokes than I can. Alright, so Saturday, that next day, we walked into that convention, still slightly shamed because we spent a bunch of money on Umineko, physical copy and all of the Lupin DVDs, but we walked in there, and I was cosplaying that day. I actually cosplayed. I wore my Sailor Venus cosplay. It's a little dated now. It's a little bulky, and I noticed a lot of the newer cosplays are a little more lightweight when it comes to a lot of the Sailor outfits. Also, my wig is old. It's so old, and I was like admiring a lot of other people's wigs. That they were a lot more like lightweight, they like covered more. It's just like, you know, I need to get like newer merch. But I cosplayed as Sailor Venus. I got a lot of compliments. I hate wigs. It was awful. Oh, I'm not bald! Look at my hair, I have plenty of it. But yes, I cosplayed as Sailor Venus. I had to wear a wig for it because, you know, the long yellow hair and all that. I don't have yellow hair. So, well, I have one thing of yellow hair, but I don't have yellow hair for the rest of it. So, but stupid me, silly me, forgot to buy a wig cap or get bobby pins before, so I had to run to CVS right before the convention and get bobby pins and a wig cap. Of which they didn't have a wig cap, so I had to buy a hairnet. And I didn't bring any makeup either, so I just didn't use any. But we got everything set. I hate wigs. I hate putting wigs on. They are very annoying to attach to my head. But we got it in. And we went to the convention. So this day is where we did probably the most amount of things. I got more pictures this day as well. We did not come super early this time, so yeah. We didn't get there super early, so when we got in, it was pretty busy. Also, Saturdays on the conventions are usually the busiest day, because if people buy a single day pass, usually they buy it for that Saturday. All the main events and stuff usually happen on Saturdays too, so probably the most busy day. Who's Bobby and why do you need his pins? Bobby makes the best pins, what can I say? I dressed as Santa and stole all of Bobby's pins. It's important. I needed them. Anyways. So, what did I write? What did we do? I'm already forgetting everything. I don't have to look at my notes, I can remember. I took different pictures this day. That's why I'm over here. I took pictures of, they had a car show, and I took pictures of some of the different cars. So here is a Bijou car, Kiseki Bijou from Hololive. I was really excited about this one, because I've mentioned a couple of times, but I'm a pretty big Hololive fan. And, yeah, not much to say on this one. I was just really excited about standing next to the Bijou car. So, yeah, it was pretty well nicely done, too. I liked the design on this one. And then there was an Iron Mouse car, which I hid behind as the camera person took a picture. The VTuber's a Hololive fan. Say it ain't so! I mean, most surprising reveal ever, right? Back on Hololive later, for now, yeah, we had this Iron Mouse car, very nice. There was also, Henya. There was also a Henya car in the back there. I don't watch VShojo as much as I do Hololive, but I do watch Iron Mouse occasionally, so it was pretty cool to see that there. They had a Phase Connect booth there, and I don't know much about Phase Connect, admittedly. I know Pippa, and Pippa was not on the guest list, so I wasn't expecting her there, but then we passed by the booth and Pippa was there, so I was like, oh, hey, what do you know? Last time I was on a convention, I was really close to cosplaying a Pringles can. That would have been good! You're not escaping the normie allegations. I guess so. I guess like a lot of VTubers started with Hololive. But that's legitimately how I got into VTubing in the first place. Why I even started. I mean, my first VTuber was actually Kizuna Ai. I watched a lot of her videos. For Japanese practice, I watched a lot of her videos. But then when Hololive English came out, is when I like fully got onto the VTuber train and started like really getting into VTubers. I mean, I started with Mori Calliope, who is still my Kamiyoshi, but I watched Kiara and Gura a lot as well. I watched Ina more these days. I also really like Narissa Ravencroft. I watch her streams quite a bit. So, I don't know, I watch a lot of Hololive, admittedly. I don't watch him as much anymore because I just don't have time to watch streams that much with streaming myself. The more you stream, the less time you have to watch VTubers, surprisingly. She was the OG. She was the OG. I loved Kizuna Ai. I was really excited when like they hinted to a comeback for her, but then like I don't think she ever did. Pringles would not have been the weirdest costume I saw that day. There's a lot of weird costumes at anime conventions that have like nothing to do with anime. You see a lot. Like at this convention they had Among Us and Jesus. I saw a number of times. There was a lot of Arcane cosplays, which isn't surprising since the show just ended. I'm trying to remember what else I saw. But, like, there was a large amount of cosplays that, like, weren't anime at all. Oh, there was Willy Wonka cosplays. Like, 3 people dressed up in Willy Wonka cosplays. I only really experienced VTubers through clip compilations on YouTube. That's a fair way, I think, to experience VTubers. I mean, streams are big commitments, so, like, I understand when people, like, only watch clips and stuff. It's why I probably need to get shorts out there. Get more people to discover me. I'm sure someone has done a cosplay of Among Us Jesus. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. Just Google it and you'll probably find something. So, yeah, there was a lot of, like, very interesting cosplays. Among Us. Yeah, I actually switched out cosplays because I'm gonna level with you. It was cold. It was very cold. It was freezing. And I was in a mini skirt and short sleeves. The gloves helped. I was wearing gloves, but yep, I was walking around in a mini skirt and heels and short sleeves, and it was like super cold. And on top of that, it started raining partway throughout the day. And so I was walking with all of that in the rain, which wasn't fun. I mean, at least I couldn't feel the rain on my head because I was wearing a wig, but not fun. Not a fun experience. So, I saw 2 women wearing a sign that said, "Free deodorant because you guys need it." And there was like a really cool angel-like costume, and my friend said they looked like Gabriel Ultrakill. That's funny. That's funny, actually. There was someone dressed up as the "To Be Continued" sign from JoJo, which I thought was really funny. Anyways. So this day, when we got in, again, we beelined straight for that Tokyo Ghoul Cafe to get some coffee. A fish that doesn't like water, right? I like water and all, but when you're in a human body and can feel the very, very cold rain on you, it just kind of like, doesn't feel great. And yeah, in that short mini skirt costume, it wasn't a pleasant feeling. But we got in there, I walked around for a little bit to get pictures of the cars. I really, really wanted to try out the pachinko machines, because they had the Madoka Magica pachinko machine there, and I wanted to film it. So I was planning on originally filming that and getting a short off of that, but as it turned out, they were full for most of the convention, and I never got a chance to do it. So, no Madoka Magica pachinko. I just dropped all of my notes, so I guess we're doing this freestyle now. JK, I'm grabbing that. Alright. So, I guess the major things we did that day. After we walked around Artist Alley for a little bit, after we walked around the vendor hall for a little bit, which, yes, unfortunately we bought things that second day. Oh boy, did we buy things that second day. In fact, the second day, I'd say, is the one where I really can't financially recover from this, for no obvious reasons whatsoever that have to do with this, by the way. There is a link to my Ko-fi page in the description that you guys can donate to me. Please help me. Anyways. So, now to have nothing to do with that whatsoever. What was that? I'm not sure. I'm gonna drink some water for a second. Hydration check for everyone. And I'm gonna stop being high on coffee for a minute. The link isn't linking. Which link? My Ko-fi link? It should be in the description. Does it not link to my Ko-fi? Does my Ko-fi link not work? That would be a problem. I mean, I guess that would explain some things. But that would be a problem for me. I guess I'll check that out in a little bit, but not on stream. Works for me. Great, if all of you could just click that button and donate us, you know, I'm not, you guys don't have to donate, okay? Yeah, I'm just joking, you guys don't have to. It's appreciated, but you don't have to. I'm just gonna throw that pressure off. Let it be known, Angie Lumina's not pressuring her fans to donate. It doesn't work for you. Okay, so the Ko-fi link doesn't work. That's actually important. Do the other links work? Because no one's ever told me they didn't work before. Do the other links work? Same with the others? Angie the Mean pressures her unpaid mods to give her money. No, wait. Apparently the links don't even work, so you guys don't even have to donate to me. Other links work fine? Reverse psychology doesn't work on me, Angie. Again, apparently the link doesn't work, so you guys don't even have to worry about it. It's all good, actually. Yeah, the Ko-fi link just redirects to the main site. Fascinating. Okay. So I'll fix that after the stream. We'll see if we can get that working. Just the Ko-fi. Got it. Alright. But yeah, I'm not gonna derail the stream just to pester you guys into giving me money. So, we're gonna go on. There's not even a link there for you? Fascinating. Alright, I'm gonna have to check on that. You would never. No, we're not doing that. Because I stuck Instagram at the end of the link, you need to change it to a... Oh, YouTube automatically does that sometimes. Every now and then, YouTube will, for whatever reason, ignore the spaces, or whenever I, make a new paragraph, it just ignores it and then smashes everything together. And I don't know why it does that, and why it does that for some things, but not the others. It's very choosy on that. I don't get why, but yeah, every now and then YouTube will just absolutely ignore what I put and just mash everything together. So, if that's what happens, I just have to fix it after the stream. And I don't have to worry as much. But thank you, I guess, for checking on that for me. I appreciate you guys. Alright, I just wrote, I hate wigs in all caps in my notes, and that's not important for anything. There's another Instagram on the next line, so I'm afraid this might have been you, not YouTube. Maybe. Could have been. Could have been, actually. That might have been me, it might have been YouTube doing that, and me going like, oh, here, let me fix that. And then I guess I forgot to put Instagram, so I'll just add that here. Like an idiot. So yeah, that's probably what happened there. I guess I'll have to go back and fix that later. So there you go, guys. You want to donate to me? Please delete that Instagram at the end of that link. Then you can donate to me. Okay, now ignore all of that. You guys don't have to donate to me. Okay, so the main thing we did this day, R wanted to get a lot of signings done. So she had drawn another picture for Kaiji Tang, I think is his name. I wrote it down, but I wrote it down very sloppily, so I'm hoping that I got that right. He was super sweet. He was super, super sweet. You heard her, guys, donate to her. I mean, I won't complain if you donate to me. Obviously, it's there for a reason. But also, you don't have to donate to me. That is not required. You can enjoy my content however you want to enjoy my content. Anyways, so he was super sweet. He talked to us for a little while. For those that don't know what he voices Gojo in JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. He also voices Osamu Dazai in Bungo Stray Dogs. He voices a number of other things too, but that's all I wrote down for now. And those were the two that she had drawn for him. And so she got a signing of those two. He had, I really liked his setup because, again, you can buy prints from these voice actors. And for him, he had, like, prints that he drew himself that were, like, these little, funny little doodles. It was so cute. I did not say you have to donate to me. You omitted a word there. Don't just use the ... to make me sound bad. Oh, man. But yeah, he was super sweet. He talked to us for a long time. He was talking to everyone. Like, he would actually just make conversation with all of his fans, and that was so cool to see. The line was long for that one, but it didn't matter. Very, very sweet guy. Highly recommend that if you have the chance to get an autograph from this guy. He was really awesome. Were you dressed as Santa Claus at the convention? No, I was dressed as Sailor Venus at the convention. I did a Sailor Venus cosplay. You donate to me. I didn't say that! I didn't say to I said you don't have to donate to me. Why is everyone omitting my words? Santa Venus, Santa Venus! Unironically, there were people dressing up as Christmas versions of a lot of the characters. Like, I saw a Christmas version of Neptune and Uranus walking around together. Nice little cute couples cosplay. And then I saw a Christmas Edelgard from Fire Emblem also walking around. Very, very cool cosplay. You saw who? You know what I said. You know what I said. The obvious joke is there. If you want to read it that way, fine. But I said what I said already. Reducing everyone to 5-year-old humor. I don't get it. Stay innocent! Stay young! Don't get it! But yeah, I saw a lot of really cool Christmas cosplays. And there was Jesus, and so I guess you could technically say that was a Christmas cosplay. I held myself back from making Uranus jokes, but I see other chatters did not have the same self-control. Nope, and we're still making donate to me jokes. Which is not what I said! Anyways, Kaiji was very, very sweet. Also voice acted a bit. And he wrote down his favorite quote, which was also very, very sweet. Speaking of which, for all of these pictures I'm talking about, for all these signings I'm talking about, I went ahead and linked R's Instagram into the description. So you guys can go on and, follow her. She's a really talented artist. She does a lot of hand-drawn paintings. She's very, very good. Please check her out. Please check out our Instagram. And she has all of the things that got signed there. She did pictures for all of them. So yeah, go check her out if you are curious of these pictures that I'm talking about and some of the autographs I'm talking about. Me World is mine. It's all mine. Wah ha ha. Nope, that's the wrong one. Wah ha 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 ha. Anyways. Where's the link to our Instagram? It should be above the credits. That's where I originally put it. But it was a late edition, so I don't know if YouTube fully loaded it. But it should be there above the credits page. If it's not there, I'll relink it after the stream is done. Because I did want her to give her credit for the pictures that she did. I see it? Cool, cool. So after we got done with Kaiji's booth, this is where things got south. Real fast for me. And by that, I mean, this is where I got back into my I'm not gonna financially recover from this area, because R and I went back to the danger booth, which I said I wasn't gonna do. I said, you know, it's too much. I'm not gonna go back to the danger booth. And what did I do? What did I do? I went back. I went back. And what did I do when I was back there? Well, I bought the rest of Higurashi. And I want to point out that this guy that was like selling all this stuff, you know, we walked up there and he saw us and he recognized me even though I was in full cosplay. I had a wig on and everything, and this guy was like, oh hey, you're the girl that really liked Higurashi and Umineko. Are you here for the three DVDs you don't have? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, I was thinking about getting one of the DVDs. And he's like, oh, hey, here's the 3. And he handed me all 3 and was like, yeah, sure you don't want them? They're hard to find. And like, damn it, this guy knew me. Because I immediately, instead of backing out, went, yeah, I want them. So I got all 3. I bought all 3. And it was a number that I still cringe thinking about. It still hurts me thinking about that number. And I bought all 3 DVDs. And, yeah, he didn't have to do much. And freaking R over there, freaking R, was over there and went beelined right back for the Lupin DVDs and was like, you know what? I think I will buy the 3rd row of Lupin DVDs that I didn't buy before. And so once again, we both left the danger booth with tears in our eyes, realizing we weren't going to financially recover from this. And by the way, once again, I would like to point out that the link of my Ko-fi page is in the description for anyone that wants to, anyways, we're not doing that today. That guy played us. Also, I want to point out that as he was ringing us up, he said, by the way, you guys might need to get some help after this. And I'm just like, yeah, thank you for saying that as you're ringing us up with my credit card in your hands. He had a big smile on his face and everything as he said that. He memorized us, man. He knew. How much of a budget did you have left after that? I had like no budget after this. That one got me. Oh man, that one got me bad. But yeah, I got them. And then after I got all of those Higurashi DVDs, I have to flip my note page here because like I'm way past what it says. After I bought all of those Higurashi DVDs, I knew that I had only one option here. And that option was I wanted to go see Emmy Lowe. For those that don't know Emmy Lowe, she is a voice actor. She voiced Rena in Higurashi. She voiced Lucy in Cyberpunk. And she voiced Mao Mao in The Apothecary Diaries. So we went there. Hello, how are you today? I'm doing good. How are you, Okapi? Good to see you. My last convention, I bought a mask, and then I had $10 left and borrowed some money from a friend. I see. R was practically, like, when we were there, and I was like, man, I really want to see Emmy, and I bought the Higurashi DVDs. So I have something for her to sign now. but you know, I feel like I'm never going to financially recover from this. So, you know, I probably don't want to buy that much for the signing. Like, you know, I'll only get like the signing. I won't get a picture or anything. And R was just like, "No, man, I've got you. Merry Christmas." And she paid for the picture. And so like R's a bro. R's a real bro. After spending all of that money, probably much more than me on the Lupin DVDs, she still was just like, "You know what? No. You love this thing, and I'm enabling your hyperfixation." And like, that was her Christmas present to me. That was really nice. I preferred Cyberpunk before all the updates. Hacking people was so OP. I never played Cyberpunk. I never actually played it. I only watched the anime for it, and so there was a lot of context I was missing because of that. I got the gist, though. I got the gist. That would be a fun one, I think, to play on stream, though. I don't know much about it. Anyways, so yeah, I got her to sign my DVD of part 1 of Go. And she was dressed up as her character from the Apothecary Diaries. She was cosplaying. I think they had a panel for the Apothecary Diaries on like actual health and medicine and anime. So it was interesting seeing her. She also complimented my cosplay, and we talked for a little bit about that. She also had made a comment later that day on what roles she was the most happy that she got, and she actually said that Rena from Higurashi was like the one she was the most happiest about because she was a big fan of the original. And I was really happy to hear that because I'm in love with Higurashi. And anytime someone says that they love Higurashi, I get really happy. As mentioned, Higurashi is my favorite anime, so I was very happy about that. Anyways, there was also a Rena cosplayer right behind me when when I was in line for her. I thought you were calling me weak at first. No, you're just making fun of how nerdy I am. But me and the Rena cosplayer talked for a while because most people were coming there for the Apothecary Diaries, because that's very recent. Higurashi's old. And me and her were talking for quite a bit over our obsession of Higurashi. She looked fairly young, so I'm glad that there's a lot of the younger generation that is liking Higurashi, because I want more people to watch Higurashi and talk about it with me. I love Higurashi so much. Alright, enough of that, enough of nostalgia. So, after that, we had a Otome panel that R and I went to, because we're girls and we like dating sims, and Otome is the female dating sim. So, we went to an Otome panel. That was fun. It was just a bunch of girls gushing about, hot anime guys. So, it was just fun. It was interesting to see, what Otome's people liked nowadays. I'm apparently too old when it comes to Otome games, and all the ones I was mentioning were not even, like, glanced upon. It was all the new ones these days. I don't even know half of them anymore. Also, saw the comments calling me old. Don't appreciate you guys. All of you are getting banned. Anyways. What's your favorite toxic hot anime boy? I have a list. My favorite anime boys are all toxic. What are you talking about? Like, my type is toxic. I'm toxic. I would squeeze like a schoolgirl over Johnny Young Bosch original Trigun. Oh my gosh, you're so right. You are so valid for that. If they aren't toxic, they're boring. Exactly! I mean, you are pretty yandere. Am I yandere? Would you guys describe me as yandere? I just like... Huh. Haven't really thought about that one. I mean, yeah, danger toxic, definitely. Yandere? I hadn't really thought about that. All I know about Otome series is all the series that are like I reincarnated as an Otome villainess that are so common that at this point becoming the protagonist is more unique. It's true. There are a lot of those I got reincarnated as like the side character or the villain or something like that. I see it all the time. I describe you as old. Hey, what do we say about banning? And he is Rinton from Eureka 7 and now Bam in Tower of God. Oh man. Yeah, you're really valid for that. I love OG Trigun. Like, OG Trigun was one of my favorite series when I was in high school. I would describe you as old. Shut up. Nah, not really yandere. Yeah, I didn't think I'd describe myself as yandere. I just know the story about you in Space. Space and I had a lot of violent moments together. Best friendship, you know. We've had a lot of violence between the two of us. Maybe more from my side, but we're not going to mention that. I got reincarnated as a bird win. There might be one now. There's a story about getting reincarnated as a refrigerator, so I'd be surprised if bird isn't one of them. The Tower of God anime was so disappointing, they screwed up the pacing completely. I haven't watched the anime for Tower of God. I only, like, read a little bit of the, manhwa. I really need to get back into that. It's manhwa, right? Is that the Korean one or the Chinese one? I don't remember. Anyway, the webtoon. I read a little bit of it. I read the manga. Dude was reincarnated as Yamcha from TBC. Yeah. Let's see. That's just Animorphs. Oh, right. I forgot about Animorphs. That was a fun show. Or show. It wasn't a show, it was a book series. Let's see. Before chat starts arguing about anime, yeah, we sat in an Otome panel. Otomes are just to clear the air there on, like, what we know about them. Otome games are just dating sims aimed at the female market. So instead of dating hot anime girls, you're dating hot anime boys. That's it. That's the only thing that makes them different. Yeah, and, yeah, that was a fun panel. We just gushed about toxic anime boys. It was really a toxic anime boy one, because they, like, the whole PowerPoint presentation was about, problematic faves and the toxic anime boys and which toxic anime boys are the best. Hello, welcome in! Like, that whole panel was basically that. So that was fun. I ran out of old Angie jokes. Good, don't make them! So, that was a very fun panel. It was interesting to see a lot of people's, like, recent takes on Otome stuff. Again, like, I'm kind of out of the loop with a lot of it, so I hadn't read, like, a good portion of them. Who was the most popular and the most toxic? So the most... I would say the one that everyone was talking about was a Otome called, it's like Ponfiore? I would have to look it up again. I don't really know it, but it's like a mafia-esque one. And there's a guy from there that everyone was saying was like the best one. And he was like super problematic. I really thought they were going to mention, like, Amnesia, because I remember back in the day, everyone talked about, like, the problematic guy being, Toma from Amnesia. Like, he was the most problematic, and everyone loved him, and I thought that was going to be mentioned, and apparently that's just too old now. Way too old. No one even knew about it, so I was just over here like, oh, well, that's, But, like, that's what I remembered. Let's see. I've been to a few conventions and got traumatized at one. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You're welcome to share if you want. But yeah, definitely don't feel pressured to. I've been to a few conventions where I got kind of traumatized. And, yeah, being traumatized at conventions is no fun. I'm omniscient reader's viewpoint anime finally coming out. Yeah? I would enjoy... Oh, I see. We're still talking. I see what's happening. You guys are still arguing about anime over here. Okay. But yeah, that was the Otome panel. It was just talking about, toxic anime boys. After that, we went to another signing. Well, I should say, we didn't go to another signing. We split up. So, R and I actually split up at this point because I wanted to do one thing and she did not. She definitely did not. And the thing I wanted to do was that, as a surprise to me, I did not know this was going to happen before the convention because I kind of came to the convention as a last minute kind of thing. It was very, very last minute that I was supposed to be there. And I didn't know what was going to be there until about Friday. And on Friday, I figured out what was supposed to happen. And that thing that happened was that there was a Fuwamoko party that was going to happen. Fuwamoko from Hololive were actually there at the convention. And immediately I started fangirling out. Because I like Fuwamoko. I'm a big fan of Fuwamoko. I don't get to watch a lot of their streams, but I think they're adorable, and I was really excited. And so I wanted to go see Fuwamoko. R is not a VTuber person, so R was not interested in seeing Fuwamoko, and so she left at this point. And so she went to get a signing. Bow bow! She went to get a signing. Are you a ruffian, Josh? So, let me see. Because I can't fully... Yeah, there it is. She went to get a signing from Landon McDonald, who voiced, Rampo, from, Bungo Stray Dogs. And also, more famously, more important to me, voiced Rohan Kishibe, and thus spoke Rohan Kishibe. Or JoJo, for everyone else. So I was very, very excited. I'll turn into their stream every now and then. I see. I'd still consider that being a ruffian. You know, even if you just watch some clips, it's the spirit that counts, you know? So Fuwamoko was there. I was really excited about that. And so I went to the Fuwamoko party. It got capped fast. Like, I walked in and I was one of the last people that walked in and they were like, we've reached capacity, no more. So I was lucky. I was really lucky to get in. So I walked in, I took a seat, and you do not choose your Oshis. You wait until Angie Lamina signs you an Oshi. I was just saying, you could consider yourself a ruffian if you want. You don't have to be a ruffian. I'm just saying that, like, it's the thought that counts, you know? Hello, welcome in. Tarnished, I see you've changed your profile pic again. Confusing the hell out of me. What are we talking about? We are talking about conventions and how currently we're on the story that I went to the Fuwamoka dance party. So I walked in, they capped the event at me. I took a seat and Fuwamoko came on. And admittedly, I was sitting in the back, and with the way that the microphone was, it was a little hard to understand them. It got, like, a little hard to understand some of what they said. They were both very excited, both very, very cute. And, yeah, they did a little Q&A. And this was apparently their first time in Texas. They talked about how they were excited being there. They tried to say howdy y'all a couple of times. It was very, very cute. A lot of bow bows. During the Q&A, almost everyone that came up said bow bow either before or after their question. At one point, one person asked them to spell refrigerator, and they both confused. They both could not spell refrigerator. They tried, they attempted a little bit, but they couldn't spell refrigerator. I think it was Fuwawa that said, I can't think when you're thinking, which I thought was very funny. At one person, someone asked them if they were in the Wild West, what would they do? And Fuwawa said that she would buy a bunch of cows and camouflage herself in the cows to jump out and surprise people. Can't blame them, I also can't spell refrigerator. That's silly, it's easy to spell. Yeah, you guys are doing great. I can always count on you. One brain cell they have to fight over. Exactly, I love Fumimoko, they're so cute. They talked about their Grand Theft Auto a bit, they talked about wrestling a bit. I remembered who Fuwawa and Mokoko. I had no idea who they were. Yeah, Fumimoko! Yeah, they're the VTuber twins from Hololive. They had a live party at the convention. After the Q&A, they did a karaoke party. And at that point, we were all allowed to get up from our seats and dance and have fun and sing along. There was a guy doing the full-on dance with the little... Oh, God, I can't think of the name. You know at idol concerts, how they'll have, like, the people with the glow sticks? And they'll do, like, those, like, choreographed, intricate dances and stuff. There was a guy doing that, and, like, there was someone that started filming him because it was really cool. It was, like, one of the people officially there that was filming him, because phones and cameras and any recording device were actually not allowed inside the venue, so... We weren't allowed to take pictures or anything. Otherwise, I definitely would have shown you guys pictures from this, because it was a very, very fun event. They were super cute. I really enjoyed seeing it. I stayed for the whole thing, and then, like, they, we left, and I posted on Twitter that, like, it was a very fun event, that they're very cute. And they liked my post on Twitter, and I freaked out for a little while. Fumimoko actually liked my post. I got a screen cap of it and everything. It was super cool getting recognized by some of my Oshis. From Hololive, I only know Gura because she's cute. Gura is cute. Gura is also one of my Oshis. Mori Calliope is my Kami Oshi. I really love Mori. I don't think I ever would have become a VTuber if I hadn't have watched Mori's debut stream. And so, like, I respect her a lot. Gura is good. I do love Gura. I watched a lot of the original Hollow Myth way back when I first started thinking about becoming a VTuber. And I watched a lot of the new girls as well. Like, Justice just came out, and Justice has some really good members. And Fumimoko is so cute. I love watching their Grand Theft Auto videos. They're very fun. Anyways, yeah, there was one guy that, he was wearing the full-on Fumimoko suit and had plushies, and he brought his girlfriend up, and he's like, yeah, my girlfriend doesn't watch, VTubers, so what would you say to get her into VTubers? And, like, it was so cute watching them go, like, watch us! And they're like, it's okay if you don't watch us. We have a lot of good people in Hololive, actually. And they were telling them, like, where they should start. They said that you should start with the 3D debut streams. It was very, very cute as they talked a lot about Callie, because Callie has been to Texas before. And apparently she had told them some places to go. It was just a very cute event. Very nice. I enjoyed it. Freaked out that they liked my comment about their show on Twitter. I posted the screen cap of the like because I was foaming at the mouth. So if you guys want to see that, you can go on Twitter. But yeah, nothing special. Really, just a like from them. Anyways, after that, I met up with R. And we she was showing me the picture she did and everything. I think at this point is when we finally took a break and went back to the room and I slept for a little bit. Because, man, you get exhausted at these conventions. And I decided I didn't want to deal with the wig anymore. So I got out of my Sailor Venus outfit and I put on a Mimikyu cosplay instead. I have a Mimikyu cosplay that's basically a giant poncho. And that felt so good in the cold weather with the rain. I appreciate her determination to get more money. Yeah. I never went to a convention, and the only VTubers I watch are you and Mega Shark, so yeah. Gouda or Megalodon? There's a few shark VTubers now. I can't say much in this stream. Like, the Fuwamoko live was only a small part of it. It only lasted for an hour, but it was very, very, it was very cute. I might show up later. Like I said, that's the only VTuber part, if that's the thing throwing you off. You can still leave, I guess, but that was it. That was the only, VTuber section. I didn't do any more, VTuber parts of this convention. I watched several indies, most of whom were corpo, but the VTuber companies have taken a hit this year. Yeah, I watch a lot of them too, like Doki Bird, and Mint Maid. There was a lot of Mint Maid stuff there. This one guy had a big Texas flag with Mint Maid printed on it. It was so cute. Oh man, never doubt a VTuber fan. VTuber fans will support you like crazy. Getting messages right now? Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Anyway, the last thing I'll say about the Fuwamoko event, actually, I did forget about it. I did take one picture. I was allowed to take this picture, but they had a big Fuwamoko shrine at the entrance of it. I actually had to cut off the picture a little bit because I got a lot of like people in it, and like I didn't want to like just post people on that didn't consent on the page. So I cut out a section of it, but there was a huge shrine dedicated to Fuwamoko. All the fans had written on cards and were posting it all over the shrine. People were leaving their stuffed dolls. There was the cutouts. It was gigantic, and it was super cute. I left a little something too, but I'm gonna leave that private. So those are actually all the photos that I am taking for here. There are more photos, but like I said, if you want to see those, you have to go onto my Instagram and they'll be posted a little later. Probably today, but like, we'll see. I have to go to bed early tonight because I have to be somewhere tomorrow very, very early. Angie knows the proper online photo etiquette. Angie respects people's privacy. Be like Angie. I try to. I try to get people's permission if I'm gonna post them, and like if their face is too clear, I just won't post it. Was it the severed heads of their enemies? Yes, obviously. Yep, I met back up with R at this point. We took a nap, and then afterwards, we went to this restaurant. And this restaurant, like, we had looked online and they didn't have a price tag on it, but, you know, they had fish and chips, burgers and stuff. And so we were like, okay, cool. We'll go there because it's really close to the hotel. So we left to go there. We got there. I was planning on getting some fish and chips because, you know, as a fish, I love eating fish. And we get there, we sit down, and I'm like, yeah, this place looks a little nice. And like, I'm in cosplay, it feels a little weird. And R was like, oh, don't worry about that. It's fine. We sit down, we get the menu. That fish and chips was $31. That was the most expensive fish and chips I've ever seen. At least in America, that is the most expensive fish and chips I have ever seen. I was like, what? What do you mean fish and chips is $31? What do you mean fish and chips is $31? This wasn't the con, it was just a restaurant. We left the con to go eat. And yeah, that fish and chips, they must have been really proud of that fish and chips. Oh my god. R got a burger. And the burger was like $20. It was expensive. This place was really proud of their food, I guess. Fish eating fish and all. It's natural. I'm an anglerfish. It happens. They'd better have been the best goddamn fish and chips on this planet. Well, I wouldn't know because I didn't get the fish and chips. It was the most expensive thing on the menu, only rivaling the steak that was $44. I bet it was pricey because it was near a con. It might have been. They knew a con was happening. Maybe. I could believe that. But yeah, I, like, looked over that menu, like, why is it so expensive? And I ended up getting the scallops because at least the scallops were $29. I've never seen scallops priced lower than fish and chips. I've never seen that. Have you played Maneater as a fish who eats fish? I have not yet. Noted. But yeah, that was the shock of the evening, was that pricey fish and chips. Also, they had chicken fried steak that was $30, which, as someone that's been to Texas and many southern states multiple times, $30 for chicken fried steak? That's a lot. That's a lot. You usually don't see that. So I got the scallops because at least then I felt I could justify the price tag a little bit, since scallops are like a little bougie, I guess. And so it was scallops and grits. It was good. It tasted good, I guess. It was scallops and grits and sausage. It was a little Cajun. Tasted good for the most part. I enjoyed it, and I did not spend $31 on fish and chips. Just $29 on scallops. I won't put the restaurant on blast or anything. You know, it was a bar above a like, it was supposed to be more of a bar than it was a restaurant. And I don't know, maybe their food really was that good. I didn't find out. The scallops were good, at least. And R enjoyed her sandwich. She said that the burger was very good. So I will keep that. I will say, you know, maybe it was a good one. But I did not want to find out. So after that restaurant that, again, I will not financially recover from, we went back to the con, and we did not time things great because we thought we had an hour in the vendor hall, and it turns out we only had 15 minutes before it closed. So we got kicked out of the vendor hall before we could buy anything else, which in hindsight was probably a good thing. But I was upset because I wanted to check out Pachinko, and I wanted to check out more of the vendors, especially in Artist Alley. But we got kicked out. And instead, we went to a yokai panel where they talked about yokai and scary stories from Japan. And we sat there for a while and listened to the guy. The guy that was talking is he's a translator, translating a lot of horror stories from Japan. He's done manga, novels, and a bunch of other ones where he's translated them from Japanese. I think he said he did a few Junji Ito stories. And he's also written his own books on yokai. And so he had a lot of very, very interesting tales that he talked about, and a lot of interesting, like, differences between Japanese horror versus, like, American horror, and, like, the folklore between them. It was a very, very interesting panel. I really enjoyed that. We were a little late to it, so some of what we heard got cut off. But we were able to hear the story of Oiwa, which is a pretty old Japanese story. It's a pretty well-known one, especially in, like, kabuki theater. I can't remember, like, the actual name of that story because I'm pretty sure Oiwa is just a character in it, but I can't remember. I will never financially recover from this. Better hit than pachinko machines. Yeah, basically. I mean, obviously she hit the pachinko machines, Nanji. Remember the wise words, let's go gambling. As a gacha player, this hurts. Anyways. So that was the end of the night for us. We were planning on going to the cosplay masquerade, which, like, if you go to a convention, they usually have pretty good after parties. Especially if you're 18 and older. They have pretty good after parties. But They had the cosplay masquerade, but we went there and they had already reached capacity and they were letting people in like one at a time via bouncer, and we didn't want to do that, so we went back to our hotel and we watched more JoJo. Next day, last day, Sunday, we actually had to leave early for this because both R and I had to catch a flight, so we couldn't stay all day. So basically we had to leave by 12:40 was the time limit we set for ourselves. So we got in, and my plan was to do some Christmas shopping for some friends and get stuff that they'd like. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Be there, be there, be there. Exactly. Buy some things for friends. Buy some Christmas presents. And then, after I did that, I was planning to go play pachinko a little bit and maybe some DDR. Because I wanted to film a few fun videos, and that none of that got to happen. Because we got there, and R wanted to visit Robbie Daymond, who was out of a lot of the voice actors besides Emmy Lowe, Robbie Daymond would be the one that I wanted to visit the most because I watch him on a ton of things, not just as a voice actor, but he's also on Critical Role, and I think he has his own show now. And like, I like Robbie Daymond. Robbie Daymond's pretty cool, and so I kind of wanted to see him. But we got there, the line was huge. R had a premium pass, so she was able to get to the front of the line, but I still really needed to get some shopping done, and we weren't gonna be there long. So I sacrificed and I separated from her at this point. And basically for the rest of this day, R and I did not meet back up. We both did two completely different things. So R got her signature from Robbie Daymond. If you don't know who he is, by the way, he famously does Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon. He is Dorian Storm from Critical Role, and Megumi from JJK. So he plays a lot. He also plays like Merlin in Fate for my Fate fans out there. He plays a lot. They usually have a little thing out in the front that, says all of the voices that they've done, and his takes up the entire page because he's done so much. You two went your separate ways, never saw each other again until we had to catch a flight! Actually, it was a little before that because we went to another panel, even though we shouldn't have. The Dick Wizard himself. Exactly! Exactly. So she went to see Robbie Daymond. I went over to shop more. I found a lot of good stuff for my friends. I had to circle that convention hall like 5 times. I took a few pictures. I'll be posting that on my Instagram as well. I will say, some of the interesting booths that I saw there in the vendor hall is that they had a tea shop that was there that specialized in horror-themed teas. And so you bought your little tea bag. It was themed to like Frankenstein or Nosferatu or the Red Shoes, stuff like that. And yeah, you could buy these horror-themed teas there. That was their whole gimmick. Very interesting. The other one I thought was very interesting that I did get a picture of, but again, Instagram exclusive. The other thing that the other shop I found interesting was a pet collar shop that specialized in Junji Ito pet tags. So you could get your dog a little Junji Ito, like Tomie, pet tag, or a little, Uzumaki pet tag. They also had ninja headbands for leashes and stuff, so like some fun ones. Some of the Artist Alley ones I saw that were really cool. There was a lot of really cool prints. I found a lot of good Fire Emblem. That sounds like a great way to curse your pets. Or the pets are the ones cursing others. There was a lot of Fire Emblem prints, a lot of Arcane prints, which makes sense, and a lot of VTuber prints. Lots and lots of VTuber prints. I was originally planning on going and getting a print over there for my Emmy Lowe signature, but I couldn't find one because as much as I love it, Higurashi is a niche anime. Not a lot of people watch it. So I didn't end up getting a print there, and I bought the DVDs instead, which still financially hurts me. Anyways. Arcane right now feels like it's in the position Attack on Titan was a decade ago. Yeah, I could kind of see what you mean there. Assigning my dog Naruto fan, how cruel. Honestly. Oh, man. But yeah, those booths were interesting. There was a lot, and I was kind of surprised by this. There was a lot of dramatical murder stuff in Artist Alley. Like, a lot of it. Which is a game that is very, very old and very, very, no comment. I was not expecting to see anything from that, but oh my gosh, Artist Alley was full of it. Almost every other booth I went to had character stuff from there. And that surprised me. That one surprised me a lot. Also, J. Michael Tatum was there, which if it was a few years earlier, I would have been fangirling and wanting a signature from him. But there was a lot of Black Butler stuff there because he was there. And apparently they were doing a Black Butler panel. I didn't go to any of that. Black Butler was an interest of mine way, 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 way back then. But not so much anymore, so not really my thing. But I do have a friend that still is very much into that, so I might have gotten her one or two little things from the convention with that. There was a lot of it because no one was buying it. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure that was it. I do not understand any of those words. Good. Good. Anyways. All in all, that was that day. We didn't do, I specifically didn't do much else. Or at this point, after she had done the signing with Robbie, she went to a panel for Jujutsu Kaisen, where a lot of the actors from Jujutsu Kaisen got together and were lamenting over season 2. I did not go to that because I haven't seen season 2 and did not want to get spoiled. And yeah, I kind of wish I would have gone to that panel because apparently Emmy was there and she had a lot to say and apparently talked about Higurashi. So I'm a little upset I didn't go to that, but what can I say? It was better than getting spoiled, I guess. I didn't really want to be spoiled for season 2. But after that, R and I met back up, and we decided that our last panel, even though we were very short on time, our last panel would be the Kaiju panel. The same guy that did the Yokai panel the night before was hosting a Kaiju panel. And so we went and we learned about the history of Kaiju and how the word is kind of different from Western standards to what it is in Japanese. In Japanese, Kaiju just means like strange mystical beasts, not so much as like, you know, giant Godzilla monsters. But in America and other countries, we hear Kaiju and think of, you know, Godzilla, Mothra, you know, all of that. So that panel was a lot of just talking about the history of Kaijus. There wasn't like a story with that one. There was no like big stories that we talked about with that. It was just like over how like a lot of these first Kaijus were made, how a lot of Kaijus were actually made up to sell things. And that you can actually trace the history of how they were made up. They're not actually like big folklore. It was just a ploy to sell things, to sell books. And we fell for it. Funny enough, he showed us that the first kaiju that was ever like documented and made was a flying monkey. Basically the flying monkey from The Wizard of Oz. And so like that was a very fascinating thing to discover. But yeah, that was mostly that panel. I can't remember everything off the top of my head. We just went over a lot of different kaijus and yokai. And what is considered a yokai and what is considered a kaiju? Are kaijus yokai? And apparently the answer to that is kind of up in the air. A lot of people can't agree on what they think about that. And the guy here definitely considered kaiju to be yokai. But apparently there's a lot of people that do not consider kaiju to be yokai. So yeah, interesting topic there. I just remembered once on a convention, I walked talking to a friend and almost ran into a woman twice my size wearing bright red. That woman was basically dressing as a stop sign. People dress as interesting things. But yeah, that ended our convention. We had to leave early, so I never got to play pachinko. Never got to play it. I also never got to play any of the Project Diva or DDR machines, which made me a little sad because I really wanted to. But that's how it is. That's how things go. I still did a lot, though. There was a few panels that I missed that I'm a little disappointed I missed. I wanted to go to some of the game shows, because game shows at conventions are kind of fun, but I never got a chance. I also never got a chance to do karaoke. No gambling, no gambling. It's a sad day when we can't gamble, but no gambling at this one. Never enough time or money at cons, huh? It's true. You never have enough money because there's always way too much stuff that you want. And you never have enough time because there's always way too many things you want to do. I did talk to a lot of people because the way the cafeteria was set up, you kind of had to sit with a bunch of other people you didn't know. And so I got to talk to a lot of other people there. And it was very interesting hearing that it was a lot of people's first conventions, you know, how they had gotten there, where they were staying. There was a couple of people from out of state that had come. It was interesting talking. I've been going to cons for like a number of years now, so I kind of knew what to expect, but there was a lot of people that had never gone to them. And they were really excited, like very bright-eyed to see all of this. I mean, if you were less of a mark, you would have had enough money. Hey! But I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed what I got. I now have all of the Higurashi collection, so I'm very, very happy about that. This is your reminder to please watch Higurashi. If you do anything else for me, please watch Higurashi. I need someone else to watch it so I can vent about it. Please! Anyways. But, yeah. Drank the coffee there more times than I can count. Had some chicken nuggets while I was there, which were not overpriced. I don't think they were, but, and I did not have the $31 fish and chips that I am never going to forget. And now you never have to buy anything Higurashi related ever again. Now hold on here. I could still buy some Higurashi. I could still buy things related to it. Oh, I guess that does remind me. R randomly, when we were walking away from the danger booth, noticed that the danger booth had Higurashi throw pillows. Or throw blankets. And I told her, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm going to walk away from it. Don't show it to me. And she proceeded to grab it and buy it. And now I have a Higurashi, throw blanket. So, well, I guess there's that now. Anyone that comes to my house will get an eye full of Higurashi. I now need to also take those DVDs and put them on a shelf so you can see the signature from Emmy. But that was this convention. That was the, that was the big anime frontier convention that we just went to. Share a pic of it? I will! I have to get it unpacked. I still haven't unpacked everything. I got in sometime last night and just kind of collapsed on my bed and passed out. So, it's gonna be a hot minute before I post pictures of that. All the pictures of the con, though, I have mostly edited and ready to go. So I'll be posting those on my Instagram pretty soon. But yeah, I got a lot of Higurashi stuff this time around. I had thought about, they had a big giant Higurashi mouse pad, and I thought about getting that as well. But it was like, you know, it was a little too much. I didn't really want to get the mouse pad. Plus that mouse pad was $90, and by that time I was a little done with spending all of my money. You know, I was a little broke. I was broke. I really needed money at that point and everything hurt. Anyways. I enjoyed myself. It was a very fun convention. I've gone to a couple of conventions, like my first convention, I guess. Now turning the table a bit. Because I did say this was just convention stories, not just anime frontier. Turning the table a bit. My, I guess, nightmare convention story. So, I'm about to admit something here. I'm about to admit something, and this is a no judgment zone, right? This is a no, like, we forgive, we move on, we understand, we don't judge anything, we are fine with previous animes we might have enjoyed, but may no longer enjoy, right? Prepare to be judging. All right. I see how you guys are. I understand how this works. When have we ever judged you? Right. Okay, well, moving right along. There was a day, a long time ago, when Angie went to her first convention, and Angie really wanted to dress up. Angie was obsessed with the idea of cosplaying. And at that time, little Angie was naive and liked popular anime that was out at the time, and the anime that she really liked, that she was really into when she started cosplaying and first going to conventions, was a admittedly very big show at the time known as Hetalia. Angie really liked the show Hetalia. And Angie decided that she was going to dress up as Belarus from Hetalia. And so I spent a long time, I don't know what that is. Good, don't look it up. I don't want to relive any of that. Did you have a Tumblr account? Yes, I did. Rub it in. I was one of those kids. Hetalia is kind of one of those animes that, like, if you were there, you know. If you were there when it was around, you know. But, like, if you weren't there, it kind of faded off into obscurity. People don't really talk about Hetalia anymore, for multiple reasons. But it's one of those animes a lot of people don't really, like, you just won't see it anymore, really. Don't fish me. I lived that day. I've made my mistakes. I've grown and I've moved on. My Tumblr era is behind me. And I have grown as a person. I don't need to make an apology video for this, do I? Hetalia is weird. It was a very weird show. But, like, its weirdness and randomness was, like, what I liked about it back in the day. And I was, like, a history nerd, and so, like, I liked, even though it was inaccurate, I liked what it was trying to do. Make an apology video. You don't even know what it is! You've never even watched it! But, like, I really liked it back in the day. And so I decided to dress up as Belarus from Hetalia. And I spent a while getting the cosplay. I didn't make the cosplay. I do not have any talents when it comes to sewing. I would love to have talents when it comes to sewing, but I don't. It's something I'd love to learn, but I have to commission. So I commissioned the outfit for Belarus. I got it. I was very excited about it. An apology video from you isn't worth anything. Hey, it could be worth a little bit. Come on, guys. Just, like, look how sorry I am. Look, I'm crying. Doesn't that mean anything to you? Anything? I'm a cute fish, aren't I? Anyways, I think I lost brain cells again. Seems to be a regular occurrence on your streams at this point. Am I causing brain rot now? Have I sunk so low? Well, I cosplayed as Belarus. Anglerfish tears. I mean, they are anglerfish tears, and it's hard to see because we're underwater usually, but I'm in a human body right now, so it's fine. The opening song is the weirdest opener for other than My Dear Friend. Nene Mama? I memorized that opening. Back in the day, I memorized that entire thing. Oh my god, I memorized it in English and in Japanese, and sometimes they do it in other languages, so I try to memorize it in the other languages of ones that I like too. I was in deep, guys. I was in deep. It was bad. It was terminal. I'm glad I was able to get myself out. But I dressed up as Belarus and I went to my first convention. It was only a day-long convention. It was a mini convention. And I went with a couple of friends. Quick sing in the suffering. Send us to Jesus. If I start singing, this video will immediately get copyright struck. We don't want that. I feel like I'm hearing you admit to several heroin addictions in your past. No, worst, Italia. It was a long time ago, Your Honor. She was only 36. I was not! I was not that old. Oh man. But yeah, I went to my first convention. But this was like a nightmare for me. It actually made me not want to go to conventions anymore, and this was the last time I ever dressed up as Belarus. I had decided that after this point, I would no longer ever dress up as a character that was kind of yandere coded. And I still haven't, to this day. I have not dressed up as another yandere coded character. Because while there, a lot of people, and like this was so long ago now, like it really was like a really long time ago. But a lot of people, when you dress up, I've noticed as certain characters, there's a lot of people that will want to get you to do certain things. And, I was very awkward in this age. I was very, shy. And I was just excited to go to my first con. And I was just excited to hang out with my friends and dress up and do all these things. And a lot of people were joking around with me because, again, at this time, Hetalia was very, very popular. There was a lot of people that were cosplaying as Russia. And they were constantly trying to get me to do photo shoots and different things. Because, you know, I was the only Belarus cosplayer there. I guess that wasn't exactly a popular character to cosplay as. But Belarus is a very yandere-coded character, supposed to be obsessed with Russia. And so they would constantly have me do photo shoots, which I didn't mind. That wasn't the part that I minded. But again, I was very, very shy and kind of a pushover. I would do kind of what people told me. And so sometimes people would walk up to me and say, like, hey, our friend is over there dressed as Russia, and, you know, we want to do this thing. Can you go up behind them? And, like, I think the thing they wanted me to do was hug them from behind. And so, you know, they told me that they had already, like, got the okay from their friend about this, because I was kind of like, I don't know. And so I did it. And so I went up and I hugged them from behind, and apparently that Russia cosplayer was not told about this in advance. And they like started screaming at me and getting onto me for it. And I apologized, but they started making fun of me and talking about how like I was shaking, because I started shaking at this point. I was so scared. Like I didn't know how to deal with this. I was like super young. And like they filmed a lot of it and were making fun of me for a lot of it. And I kind of ran off. And there was a cosplay contest. It was a very informal one that you could enter in even with like cosplay that you didn't make. And I was originally going to do that, and I just backed out of it completely. Like I couldn't show my face anymore. Like I was so done. And like yeah, that kind of like put me off of cosplaying as like yandere-esque characters. Because it was that whole, like, I was chasing Russias all day. People were making me chase their friends. A lot of Russias would just, like, tell me, like, hey, we're doing a photo shoot. Do you mind chasing me? And I do that. That was the only one where it was like, hey, hug our friend from behind. And, like, that traumatized me. So, like, now in a lot of, like, if I ever cosplay and do, like, photo shoots, I won't do anything that involves me, like, touching the other person in any way. I won't do anything, like that. Because, like, that was an experience that, like, I never want to relive. It was awful. I know a lot more now. I know that, like, I wasn't really in the wrong in that situation. I guess I should have asked the person first, if anything. Like, I should have asked that Russia cosplayer instead of just running up and hugging them from behind. Just believing they're friends. But, yeah, that was an experience that I don't want to relive ever. So I, to this day, have never cosplayed as any, like, yandere characters. And to this day, have never, like, if I do photo shoots, it's like, we're not touching each other in any way. I'm not even, like, a hand behind the shoulder kind of thing. No, I'm just doing my peace signs or Sailor Moon poses, and we're going with that. But yeah, that was my first convention I had ever gone to. The first time I cosplayed, my first convention. I was a little scared to go to conventions after that moment. I was a little scared at what would happen. And again, I never cosplayed as I did cosplay as Sailor Venus. I never cosplayed as Belarus ever again. That was it. I still was into Hetalia, but like I was never doing Belarus. Back in like old internet days, this is like long deleted now, I did post a lot of my photo shoot in the Belarus cosplay. And I would do that, but I wouldn't go to conventions in it. Still have that thing. It's old at this point though. I don't think I could wear it to conventions even if I wanted to. But yeah, I got a Sailor Venus cosplay soon after, and from conventions on, I always went as Sailor Venus. I guess it's a little bit of a lie that I never did Yandere-esque cosplays, but I did do Junko Enoshima once. It was a very low budget Junko Enoshima back before Danganronpa was even known in the West. Before it got translated, I had read Danganronpa, the Japanese version, and I really liked Junko Enoshima. So I cosplayed as her, but it was a very, very low budget. But a lot of people thought that I looked really cool and they were asking me who I was. Nowadays, everyone knows Danganronpa. And so, like, it wouldn't be surprised at all going to a convention dressed up as Junko, but at that time, no one knew what it was. They were all asking me who it was. It was fun. God, first Italia, then Danganronpa. It just gets worse and worse. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, I am a Danganronpa fan. That never changed. I still like Danganronpa. Even if people say it's bad, it doesn't matter. I like it. And that's the thing, we can all have our shitty taste, right? Danganronpa is one of mine. I have a lot of shitty taste, actually. Danganronpa is just one of them. But, yeah, Hetalia faded. I stopped liking Hetalia. It just kind of naturally faded. And I stopped liking it. But, Danganronpa I've always liked. It stayed. I mean, yeah, we all have shitty taste. I'm friends with you after all. Hey now, that's hurtful. That hurts, actually. Ow. After I just got done selling my horrible convention story, you're gonna come at me with that? Danganronpa is pretty alright. Yeah, I like Danganronpa. I think, like, I really like mystery stuff, and so, like, as a mystery game, like, it has its problems. I won't deny that. But, like, it kept my interest for a long time. It's more like the basic premise being, yeah, I agree. Like, Hetalia has a lot of problems. It has a lot of problems. But, you know, I'm not gonna judge, like, 12-year-old me liking it back in the day. You know? I had my phase. I'm not in it anymore. Sorry, didn't want to hurt you with it. No, you're fine. I'm joking around, too. Those things are long gone. It's been years now. Part of me being able to talk about it is like, you know, it's over. I've grown. I'm a much stronger person and I'm a much better person than I was then. And like, I can recognize that they were in the wrong. You know, even if, you know, I didn't have a right to touch that Russia cosplayer or anything, they didn't have to yell at me like that. I clearly apologized for it. It's one of those things that like, I made my mistakes. I know what to do now to fix them, and it doesn't really bother me anymore. And I've been to a lot of conventions since, and I've had a lot of fun. Strunkfish, yeah! Buff Angie with abs, yeah! Come on, Space! Draw me with abs, you coward! But yeah, I'm telling my nightmare story to just say it does get better. It gets a lot better. Conventions can be a lot of fun. You can have really bad ones, but you can also have really good ones, and I've had a lot more good than bad. I wish I had 100%ed the Yakuza series so I could reliably cosplay Kiryu at cons, cause he seems like an easy-ish cosplay. I mean, do you have abs? Ugh, not recently. I used to. I used to exercise all the time. I used to do a lot of weightlifting, but I kind of let myself go a little bit. I need to get back into it. I've been getting back into it these past few weeks, but it takes a little bit to gain abs again. I miss those days. But I got injured in a gym once and it kind of threw me off of doing it. Anyways, that's a long story for another day. That's a real long story. I'm just imagining your round anglerfish avatar doing bench presses. Yeah, strong fish! Strong fish! I look more angry here. I don't look like my, kind of like, yeah, kind of look, so I'm not gonna try that. I don't have that modeled in. Not on the Santa outfit. Anyways. But yeah, the convention I went to right afterwards was a lot of fun. Again, when I cosplayed the Danganronpa character, I had a lot of fun then. Cosplaying Junko. I don't know if I'd have fun cosplaying Junko now, granted. Now that she's such a well-known character. I'm not sure how much fun it would be to cosplay her now. But back when she was like relatively unknown and I had people just coming up asking me who she was and saying it was a cool cosplay, that was a lot of fun. And then like, you know, I've been to a lot of fun events. Like, I still remember going to this one convention and they had a Miss Star Wars pageant. And I don't know anything about Star Wars, but, well, I know a couple of things about Star Wars. But, you know, it was still a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. And, like, I've been to a lot of nerd conventions, not just anime, but, like, Star Trek related. Or, I've been to a couple Comic-Cons. And I've had fun with all of them. So, this is kind of like a little pep talk of like, if you ever want to go to a convention, go to one. They are fun. They are a lot of fun. I've had way more good ones than bad ones. But I thought it was fair to share my horror story. Because I have had a few bad experiences. But, let's see. It's been about 2 hours now. So, I guess this would be around a good stopping point, unless anyone had anything else they wanted to add. Around the 2 hour mark is usually when I start thinking to shut these things off, and I've been talking for a while, haven't I? I'm gonna have to save a lot of this energy for Wednesday. I'm a little worried about you guys canceling me on the rest of my bad takes of Pokemon, but they're good takes to me. I also need to change a few things. I've decided to backtrack on a couple of my, choices last time. You know, Ludicolo didn't deserve what I gave him. I'll admit. I was going a little hard that round. Ludicolo didn't deserve that. So, I'm gonna change a few things. I'm gonna change a few things around. Quagsire F tier, I have some unfortunate news for you, my friend. I still like Quagsire. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. I think that I've exhausted talking about conventions this time around. Alright. So, on that note, I will see you guys. No, never change, double down. There's just a couple that I'm like, you know what? I don't really agree with that. I need to, like, think about this the American way. There's just a couple of things that I'm like, no, they didn't deserve that treatment. I need to change that. Anyways, I will see you next time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I get really surprised when I see that there's a number of you that love to come in and just listen to me talk for 2 hours. Always surprising, but I really do appreciate it. It's very humbling. As always, love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!